Hey guys, for this video I'm going to be doing a book review of Injustice 2 Volume 3. It's going to be fun if I'm doing this entire, Injustice series because they are literally just volume fill in the blank, so that's kind of annoying, but this is by Tom Taylor. This book, there was some things I did kind of like about it, some I was annoyed by. So for this one, I'll just say right now, I think I read the first Justice League book, and then honestly, this is the only other Injustice book I've read, so I don't know what's happened in previous ones other than what's presented in this book. It might be a little bit, I'm just going based on what I read in this book. So the book starts out, I'm so used to Kara Danvers. Kara Zor-El, she is in Black Adam's kingdom, and apparently she is new to Earth, or at least people don't know about her existence except for Black Adam and then Damian, who shows up. He wants her help in freeing Diana from the Amazons in the Themyscira. And so we get her going to Themyscira, where another Wonder Woman, what was her name? Namari? Is that her name? I think it starts with an N. She has taken Diana's place, and Kara has to fight through her and the other Amazons that are on side of Hippolyta, to get to Diana, and she has, Kara has help from Antiope and the Amazons loyal to her. They don't want men to destroy the world, because they will ultimately destroy Themyscira, which is why they're wanting to free Wonder Woman so that she can go back into the world and stop men from destroying it. And then we kind of get flashes to other characters in the book and what's happening with them. So we get Flash. He's kind of traveling on foot because he has a monitor that monitors his speed when he uses his speed, because Batman is monitoring him because Flash used to be on the side of Wonder Woman and Superman. And so Flash has traveled to this home of this kid who was at one time a hero, but he went up against Batman, you say Batman. He went up against Wonder Woman and Superman, and they end up paralyzing him. And Flash seems like he feels guilty for what he did, and so he's going to try to help this kid learn to walk again. And so we get that, and then it flashes to Harley Quinn and what's going on with her and Poison Ivy. Turns out Poison Ivy is kind of siding with Ra's al Ghul, which we also see later, or earlier, whichever. And she's wanting to, she's on the side of whoever is best for, plant life. So she wants to, I guess, get rid of humanity because it will bring back the plants, and so she's kind of on Ra's al Ghul's side. And of course Harley is not, and so we kind of get this, this wedge in the relationship, which can't help but roll my eyes, because I'd like to see one comic, or at least one couple, a queer couple, a female couple that actually becomes like a mainstay in the comics, where they constantly get to be together, like Superman and Lois, or Batman and Catwoman. I want, this female couple that becomes a mainstay in the comics, as opposed to being together in one comic and then end up with dudes in the other comics. I guess at least they fucking made it kind of reasonable. An explanation for why they kind of aren't able to be together, but it just still is annoying. So, since I brought up Ra's al Ghul, he's actually working with Gorilla Grodd. He created this machine, Amazo, that's his name. And he tests it on this town and kills everyone, every human there. I'm assuming because it's Gorilla Grodd, he doesn't want to kill animals. So he ends up sparing the life of this cat, and I think the cat's the only one that survives. So Batman, Batgirl, and Plastic Man sense the disturbance, and they go there, and the cat's the only one that survives. And this part made me laugh so hard. So they find the cat, and the cat is not happy, and so they end up leaving the cat there. And then the Red Lantern ring shows up and becomes Daxter, and I burst out laughing. It felt so random. But obviously I know that Daxter becomes a Red Lantern after his owner was killed or murdered. But I just could not help but laugh at that. We also get a look at Wonder Woman's past. And that's kind of what I was interested in, because I know the first one she sided with Superman, and she seemed very bloodthirsty and doing all these things that didn't really seem to be like Wonder Woman. So, I figured hopefully there would be explanation later down in the line to explain why she was doing what she was doing. And in this one, we get, I don't know if this is a full explanation or if this is part, but we get a look at Wonder Woman's past. And so we see her flash to before she comes to Man World. She's fighting the Amazons, training with the Amazons, and she kind of gets rough and ends up injuring one of them, and they get upset, and she's like, hey, I'm doing exactly what I would do in the real world. So she couldn't kind of get upset, and then Antiope, I think it was her, she's like, well, your powers might be an asset, but your morals aren't. Which is hysterical considering what happens next, because Steve Trevor comes to Man's World, or to Themyscira, and the Amazons and Antiope doesn't want to have mercy on him. And Wonder Woman's like, what the fuck? You say you want me to, talk about mercy, but now you don't want to have mercy. And so, yeah, it's kind of irritated by the Amazons and their hypocrisy. And then we get Diana actually taking Steve Trevor to the Man's World. She becomes like the face of this war. And then we see how then she sees the horrors of war, I guess, because she ends up having to watch a child die. And then Steve Trevor, he kind of goes crazy, and he's beating up this Nazi prisoner of war, just beating the shit out of him. And Wonder Woman's like kind of horrified, and they end up going to Themyscira to get the lasso of truth. Well, she goes to her mother to try to plead her case. She expects him to stay on a ship, but he doesn't. He goes straight for the lasso and ends up killing one of the Amazons. Wonder Woman finds out about it and wants to know why. Well, it turns out that he's a Nazi spy, and that's what pissed me off about this book. I mean, it would have made more sense if he maybe had become so traumatized, if you will, by the war and what was going on and all these people dying, that maybe he was willing to do what he needed to stop this war. It's kind of like with Wonder Woman in the movie Wonder Woman. But this one, it felt like they needed some reason to quickly make him into the bad guy, or quickly explain why he would do this. So, hey, let's just make him an evil Nazi. And maybe they also wanted to make it so that we sympathize more with Wonder Woman, because, well, he's a Nazi. So it explains perfectly why he would kill him, and you don't feel sorry for him. But it still felt such a cop-out, to be honest. So she ends up killing him. And then we see her going to Man's World, and she's going to these conflicts where these warlords are, this warlord is going to execute these bunch of people, and so she kills them all instead, the warlords and his minions. So she seems very much like she is kill first, ask no questions. And of course, when you get into that mentality, it just leads to immense bloodshed, because then, you know, you don't ask questions, you know, you don't try to figure out who's right or wrong. You just kill based on, you know, first instinct, I guess. So I did kind of have to read more of the comics, but that is kind of interesting to me. I like that moral conflict and, you know, those moral questions. Then at the end of the book, the Suicide Squad ends up taking down Harley's gang of Jokers. I'm not sure if those are actually what they're called, but that's essentially, you know, what they are. They're just, you know, they dress up just like Harley with the paint and all that, and the Suicide Squad takes him out. So I'm not sure. Harley's supposed to be on the side of good, so I'm not good. So trying to stop Batman and Wonder Woman, I guess. I think. I'm not sure what side Suicide Squad's supposed to be on. I'm assuming maybe they're just, because they're led by Amanda Waller, so I'm not sure if she's killing whoever the fuck she thinks is a bad guy. Maybe it would be explained in the next book, but so yeah, that was Justice 2 Volume 3. And like I said, there are some parts, I mean, I like that we finally get some of an explanation for why Wonder Woman is the way she is. But I'm also kind of annoyed because it felt very much like with Steve Trevor, they kind of just quickly established him as a Nazi so that they could quickly explain why she is the way she is. And so that annoyed me. But they also introduced Kara Zor-El, so I'm interested to see what they're going to do with her in this book. See how she's going to react, because it does feel like she's very much naive in this book. She's willing to go with Damian to free Wonder Woman. So we'll see if she is in fact more naive and then she becomes more hardened, or what. So yeah, that was my reaction, or sorry, my review of Injustice 2 Volume 3. So if you did like this video, give it a like, subscribe to get notifications for all the videos I'll be doing. You guys have a nice night, stay safe out there, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.